I'll share 3 proven strategies that have helped other beneficiaries save thousands of dollars annually. Welcome to Financial Area, where we break down complex financial topics into actionable insights. If you want to stay ahead of changes that affect your money, hit that like button and subscribe for weekly updates that could save you thousands. Let's start with the numbers that have everyone talking. Just weeks ago, experts were predicting the 2026 Social Security cost of living adjustment would be somewhere between 3% and 3.7%. But new inflation data has completely changed that picture. The current projection has dropped to just 2.6% to 3%. To put this in perspective, if you're receiving $1,500 per month in Social Security benefits, a 3% COLA would give you an extra $45 per month, or $540 per year. If you're getting $2,000 monthly, you're looking at about $60 more each month. These aren't exactly life-changing amounts, especially when you consider what's happening with your actual living expenses. The reason for this dramatic shift in projections comes down to one key piece of data: July's Consumer Price Index for urban wage earners and clerical workers, which is the specific inflation measure used to calculate your COLA. This number came in at 2.5% year over year, significantly lower than many expected. But here's where it gets interesting, and frankly frustrating for millions of beneficiaries. There's growing skepticism about whether these official inflation numbers actually reflect what you're experiencing in your daily life. When you go to the grocery store, fill up your gas tank, or pay your utility bills, does it feel like inflation is only 2.5%? For most people, the answer is a resounding no. Many beneficiaries and advocates believe that inflation data is being manipulated or massaged to present a rosier economic picture. Whether this is to influence Federal Reserve policy or to minimize the government's financial obligations, the end result is the same: a lower COLA that doesn't match your real-world expenses. This disconnect between official numbers and actual living costs has created widespread cynicism. People on fixed incomes feel like the system is rigged against them, and honestly, looking at the math, it's hard to argue with that feeling. But wait, it gets worse. Even if you do get that modest 2.6% to 3% increase, there's something that could wipe it out entirely: Medicare Part B premiums. For 2026, these premiums are expected to increase by $21.50 per month. That might not sound like much, but let's do the math. If your monthly Social Security benefit is $900 or less, this Medicare premium increase could completely offset your entire COLA. Think about that for a moment. You get a cost of living adjustment that's supposed to help you keep up with rising prices, but it immediately gets consumed by higher healthcare costs. You end up with zero net increase in your take-home pay. This affects millions of people, especially those who worked in lower-paying jobs throughout their careers, many SSI recipients, and survivors who receive smaller benefit amounts. The very people who most need help keeping up with inflation are the ones getting hit hardest by this cruel mathematical reality. Now let's talk about how this COLA calculation actually works, because understanding the process helps explain why the system often feels so disconnected from your reality. The Social Security Administration doesn't just look at 1 month of inflation data. Instead, they take the average of the Consumer Price Index for the third quarter of the year. That's July, August, and September. They compare this average to the same 3-month period from the previous year, and the percentage increase becomes your COLA. So far, we only have July's data, which showed that 2.5% year-over-year increase. We're still waiting for August and September numbers. If inflation surges in those months, the COLA projection could be revised upward. However, current economic trends suggest that's unlikely to happen. This is where the political reality becomes frustrating for many beneficiaries. There's a widespread feeling that Congress is completely out of touch with what you're actually facing. While lawmakers debate policy in Washington, real people are struggling to afford basic necessities on fixed incomes that aren't keeping pace with actual price increases. Advocacy groups are working hard to draw attention to these issues. They're organizing letter-writing campaigns, pushing for reforms to the COLA calculation, and trying to get lawmakers to understand that the current system simply isn't working for millions of Americans. But meaningful change has been incredibly slow to materialize. Some of the proposed reforms include adjusting the COLA formula to better reflect the expenses that seniors and people with disabilities actually face, providing additional support for low-income beneficiaries, and capping Medicare premium increases so they don't wipe out COLA gains. These sound like common-sense solutions, but getting them through Congress is a whole different challenge. The timeline for finding out your actual 2026 COLA is pretty straightforward. The official announcement typically comes in October, after all 3 months of third-quarter inflation data are available. Until then, we're working with projections based on current trends and the July data we already have. So, what can you actually do about this situation? While you can't control COLA calculations or Medicare premium increases, there are proven strategies that can help you maximize your benefits and offset some of these challenges. The most effective thing you can do is review your Medicare plan every single year. This isn't just a good idea, it's essential. Plans change, your health needs change, and what was the best option last year may not be the best choice this year. Many beneficiaries have saved hundreds or even thousands of dollars annually just by switching plans or taking advantage of new offerings. Let me give you some real examples. Miriam McGee saved $1,200 per year. That's $100 every month by switching to a better Medicare plan. Ken Johnson saved over $2,000 annually, which works out to $174 per month. Harold saved nearly $1,000 per year or $79 monthly. These aren't small amounts when you're on a fixed income, and they can completely offset a disappointing COLA. The key is understanding that Medicare plans are constantly changing. Insurance companies add and drop coverage, change their formularies, adjust their networks, and modify their costs. What looked like a great deal when you first signed up might now be costing you far more than necessary.
Helping others avoid unnecessary expenses and maximize their benefits creates a ripple effect that can improve the financial situation for everyone in your community. Stay informed about policy developments too. While major reforms might be slow in coming, smaller changes do happen, and being aware of them can help you make better decisions about your benefits and healthcare. Looking ahead, remember that COLA calculations will continue to be based on this same flawed system unless Congress acts. That means staying engaged, supporting advocacy efforts, and making your voice heard when opportunities arise. The bottom line is this. The 2026 Social Security COLA is shaping up to be disappointingly small, potentially wiped out entirely by Medicare premium increases for those who need help the most. This reality makes it more important than ever to take control of the aspects of your financial situation that you can influence. Review your Medicare plan annually. Seek out free, qualified help when you need it. Share information with others who could benefit. Stay informed about changes that affect your benefits, and don't let a system that often seems to work against you prevent you from taking the steps that can improve your financial situation. The COLA system may be flawed, but you're not powerless. By making smart choices about your Medicare coverage and staying informed about your options, you can often save more money than any COLA increase would provide. Don't let a low COLA catch you off guard. Make sure you're subscribed to Financial Area for the latest updates on Social Security, Medicare, and other financial topics that directly affect your bottom line. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss important information that could save you money. And if this video helped you understand what's really happening with your 2026 benefits, give it a thumbs up and share it with anyone else who needs to know this information. Your financial security is too important to leave to chance. Take action on what you can control, stay informed about what you can't, and remember that knowledge is your best defense against a system that often seems designed to work against you rather than for you.
If you're one of the 74 million Americans counting on Social Security, what I'm about to tell you could completely change your financial planning for 2026. In this video, I'll reveal the latest COLA forecast that's dropped significantly from earlier predictions, explain exactly why this happened, and show you the shocking reality of how Medicare premiums could wipe out your entire increase. Plus, I'll share 3 proven strategies that have helped other beneficiaries save thousands of dollars annually. Welcome to Financial Area, where we break down complex financial topics into actionable insights. If you want to stay ahead of changes that affect your money, hit that like button and subscribe for weekly updates that could save you thousands. Let's start with the numbers that have everyone talking. Just weeks ago, experts were predicting the 2026 Social Security cost of living adjustment would be somewhere between 3% and 3.7%. But new inflation data has completely changed that picture. The current projection has dropped to just 2.6% to 3%. To put this in perspective, if you're receiving $1,500 per month in Social Security benefits, a 3% COLA would give you an extra $45 per month, or $540 per year. If you're getting $2,000 monthly, you're looking at about $60 more each month. These aren't exactly life-changing amounts, especially when you consider what's happening with your actual living expenses. The reason for this dramatic shift in projections comes down to one key piece of data: July's Consumer Price Index for urban wage earners and clerical workers, which is the specific inflation measure used to calculate your COLA. This number came in at 2.5% year over year, significantly lower than many expected. But here's where it gets interesting.